Mr. C.K. Sudhakaran is an innovative and assertive farmer from Kodungalur, Thrissur, Kerala. He is a pioneer in Brackishwater aquaculture, especially in diversification with mud crab and finfish farming. He evaluated the relative performance of Vanami Plus feed of ICAR-CIBA vis-a-vis commercial feeds. His interest in scientific farming got him the Best Crab Farmer Award from MPEDA in 2014. He is a mentor, aquapreneur, and an advocate for sustainable shrimp farming.
I am Sudhakaran from Kodungalur, a place in Kerala. I have been to shrimp culture for last 19 years. I accidentally entered into shrimp farming, not with the passion of any aquaculture. I jumped into the aquaculture without knowing anything from that about aquaculture and without doing any homework. So I had faced severe, disastrous failures. Even though one of the famous scientists was my working as a consultant at that time, in 99, he advocated on the closed culture system, need of the closed culture system, without aerator and any probiotic. Without knowing the importance of these two factors, I jumped into trusting those words. But by 50 days, my culture had deteriorated into culture pond condition had deteriorated into very bad state. My shrimp had all died. Then after I tried myself and tried to stabilize aquaculture. During this process, I learned myself about shrimp culture. It was monodon at that time. As all of you who are in aquaculture know, monodon, because of the lack of good seed, trustable seed, it was a lottery-like affair. And though I stabilized my culture during those years, I found it is not a trustworthy endeavor to go into continue with. So need to diversify my aquaculture activities. I entered into finfish culture and crab culture. 2013, I had won Best Crab Farmer National Award, but I stopped the crab culture there because I found it was not suitable for me, my personalities, because pellet feed was not developed at that time. Bringing the trash fish and giving, it was not. I found it. I was not fit to do those things, and also to see the proper form, to find out the proper forming of the crab. That time I was depending completely on the labors. I cannot do that depending on the labors. So technically, though it was a success, financially it was not so much rewarding. So I stopped that. Then in that time, I entered into Vanami culture. Initially, it was about 15 pieces per square meter, and I managed to harvest 1 ton per hectare, per acre at that time. Then after, I improved my culture practices, and with when I increased tried to increase the stocking densities to 40, 50 and above, I found the seed cost was very much prohibitively increasing and causing my margins. So then I was searching about alternatives for the commercial feed. Also on the ethical sides of the commercial feeding, using the trash fish and its impact on the food chain of the sea. The nature was searching for some alternatives, low cost feeding. In meantime, I heard of the CIBA developing Vanami Plus, a low cost indigenous formulated feed. They developed the formula, and I contacted CIBA, and I came with their encouragement. I came here, signed a memorandum of understanding. I gave one of my ponds, one plus tried. And I had another ponds with commercial feed, whatever was available in the market. I found the Vanami Plus was performing not only better than the commercial feed. So next culture, I put all my ponds in Vanami Plus feed. First culture, CIBA had produced in-house, supplied me with the in-house feeding, in-house produced feed. Then after they directed me to Vasanthi, their franchisee producer. They had supplied me feed for the consecutive culture till they had closed for renovation of their plant. And in between, I tried 60 pieces per square meter and managed to produce 4.8 ton from 0.3 hectare, that is nearly 16 ton per hectare production. And now I am continuing with the Vanami culture with a reduced density because I don't want to damage my pond with organic loading. So up to 32, I am now concentrating in 30-40. That also, I try to harvest higher size, not the smaller size, 30 and 25 count. In between, I do partial harvesting at 40 and 35 counts. Now, that strategy I am continuing now. Also, I am trying to innovate with biofloc and biomimicry, some variants of biomimicry, to reduce the dependence on the pellet feed. And to some extent, I have succeeded to reduce percentage of pellet feed in my pond. Up to 0.8, I managed to get my FCR. 0.8 kilo feed to 1 kilo shrimp. And that's my story. Thank you. And thank you, CIBA, for giving me this opportunity to address, present my story here. Okay.